Hey, this is Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 103. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan. Today we're going to revisit the worst tribal of all time, the werewolf. Now hit our theme song! Hey Ryan, we're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What's going down?
Whole bunch is going down. We're back in the, the third episode of the arc of the Double Baked Brew, where we're going back over the course of 100 episodes of Commander Cookout Podcast and updating our fine listening audience about some of these decks that we used to talk about.
Yeah, we used to talk about the worst tribal of all time.
Oh,
yeah.
I said that wrong, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Worst tribe of all time. Am I wrong?
Did you say what tribe it was?
Will you base a whole deck around one creature type?
No, did you say what tribe it was?
The werewolf.
Oh, yeah, I blocked that part out already. Do we have to talk about werewolves?
Hell no. Have you looked at the list for the day?
Yes.
Yeah, this is going to blow your mind. If you've been thinking, I don't know if I want to listen to an hour of them talk about damn werewolves, this is the worst. Just bear with us.
Yeah, here's the thing. Half of our listeners already shut it off.
No way. They want to know where we're going with this. I guarantee you, anybody that's been with us long enough to know what deck we're talking about, they're invested now. They are invested.
Yeah. Dude, okay, so here's the thing. Episode 3. Episode 3 was Surak Dragonclaw?
Yeah.
Teamer Werewolf Tribal.
Oh my God.
So here on Commander Cookout, Arc of Double Baked Brews, we're taking a look at lists that we did once and have now updated. So, of course, keeping in the style of the arc, this is a deck that you personally own.
Yep.
And it's morphed from Teamer, what's his name? Surak Dragonclaw?
Surak Dragonclaw.
6/6 for 6, creature spells can't be countered, whatever, who cares? Not the commander anymore.
Nope.
Who's the commandy now?
Arjun the Shifting Flame.
Not even the same colors.
Nope.
What in the actual?
Yeah, werewolves were so damn bad. I cut all of them, and the color green.
You cut a whole color.
I cut a whole color because I just wanted to distance myself as much as I possibly could from that garbage.
So we got Arjun the Shifting Flame. Give him a read.
Arjun the Shifting Flame is a 5/5 Sphinx Wizard for 4 and then a blue and a red. He has flying, and he says, whenever you cast a spell, put the cards in your hand on the bottom of your library in any order, then draw that many cards.
So he's Teferi's Puzzle Box when you cast a spell.
Yep.
No. Spell? When you cast a spell?
When you cast a spell.
When you cast a spell.
Any spell.
You Teferi's Puzzle Box.
Yep.
I can't imagine how that would be good.
Oh, it's super good.
It's actually good. I actually really like this deck.
The decks that like to draw cards, this deck is drawn cards.
This feels like this deck should be my deck.
But it's not. It's my deck.
That's actually funny.
It's crazy.
That's actually funny.
So now that we've talked about the commander, should we talk about a bunch of other stuff?
Yeah, 100% other things.
Hell yeah.
I want to start off by saying, and I already touched on it, that the Arc of Double Baked Brews actually feels really good. We can celebrate our 100th episode or our arc of 100 episodes by doing some of our own personal decks. That makes me feel really good because they always end up being some of our more passionate episodes and engaging episodes with CCO Nation as well.
Yeah, thank you for everybody who's posted on last week's episode. I now know that the Primal Tide Nezahal is a plesiosaur.
Yeah, very much so.
Thank you very much. And also thank you for whoever told us that the reason Sakura Tribe Scout is so expensive is because it's a 4-of in a Tier 1 modern deck.
Yeah, you know what? I was actually looking through my collection after we recorded last week's show and comparing it against some tournament that had a bunch of modern deck lists up, like a top 8 or whatever, and I saw the Sakura Tribe Scout dot deck.
There it is.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, there it is. And it still hadn't gotten printed between when we recorded and when I saw those lists.
and here we are. Now we know you're making us better by commenting on our YouTube videos, so thank you very much.
Ooh, I got this. Segway time.
Good one.
You mentioned YouTube.
I did.
If you comment on one of our YouTube videos, and we're going to have one up last Friday and another one up this week. I think Wednesday. I think tomorrow.
Cool.
We're going to talk about that in a second. But if you comment on any of our YouTube videos, or as Brando says, a
smash of the like button, or an elbow drop. That would also be cool.
If you do any of those things, you subscribe to us, comment on our video, share any of our Facebook posts, retweet any of our giveaway tweets on Twitter, you get yourself entered into the Zadahedron Grinder deck giveaway for this arc.
Also, if you stop over at Podomatic at our page there and do any kind of interacting with the show to help us get to number 1 over there, that will also enter you.
Yes, very much so. A comment or a I want more.
Yes.
I want more.
Yes.
What if I just kept saying I want more?
This show would be crazy repetitive with us just going back and forth like that.
The video this week, tomorrow. Sure. I'm going to call it tomorrow. Damn it, now I got to commit to that.
Yeah. See, now we're traveling forward in time as we record not on Tuesday when the show comes out because it's not live. Spoiler. It is earlier in the previous week.
Yeah, so we're trying a new thing.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit more of a raw YouTube approach with this new video. It's a few minutes long, and Brando goes on a pretty good rant.
Yeah, I do.
That wasn't really planned, but I kind of just let him go, as I do. It's just Brando and I just kind of bullshitting about our open flippy game and having a beer, and we're gonna see what kind of reception that gets.
Yeah. Maybe just see if you guys dig it and you want to see more of that, then let us know, and we're just going to test the waters and see what you guys think.
Yeah, and you know what? Talking about just kind of bullshitting, I mean, open the curtain a little bit. We're thinking about a new piece of Commander Cookout content in the, I'm going to call it the Monday time slot. We don't have anything on Mondays, right? Like, podcast comes up on Tuesday.
Right.
Wednesday is an article if we have one. Thursday is our Facebook altered card auctions.
Right.
And Friday is the day that we do our videos twice a month.
Yeah, and Saturday and Sunday are the days we do all the work.
Yeah, Jesus. So the Monday time slot, this is what we're thinking. We would love to introduce CCO Nation to the, I'm going to call it the behind the scenes characters that are Ryan and Brando.
That's us.
That is us. I think they knew that.
For anybody who's new, they don't know.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe they missed the intro, spoke too fast, and they're wondering who are these two guys? Ryan and Brando.
This is what we were thinking. Every time we meet CCO Nation, CCO Nationalites out in the wild, events or playing games or in LGSs, whatever, they always say, hey, you guys are kind of like exactly like what you sound like on the show.
Yeah.
And yeah, we kind of are. And we would like to give everybody a little bit of not only early access to the show, because this is Monday, we're talking that it would be released, but also kind of our prep and our conversations, our testing of the mics. I think that's my favorite part of the whole day is actually the conversations we have to test the mics, because it's just whatever it is.
Yeah, there has been some stuff.
I'm a little bit nervous now that I said that on air.
No, it's going to be great. It's going to be
take
great.
Your word for it.
Can't fail.
So if that seems like something that everybody's interested in, let us know, and we're gonna work towards setting that up. I hope for the next arc, because we don't want to start it in the middle of an arc. We want to start it when we're kicking off something brand new.
Yes.
And heap that on top.
Also, yes.
Shoutouts?
Shoutouts.
Now, shoutouts and funny nicknames go to patrons of the podcast. You head over to patreon.com/CCOPodcast. There you can pledge any amount per month that you want. And the issue that prevented some people from pledging, I fixed it. Huge shout out to everybody who bumped up their pledge.
We appreciate that a whole lot.
Everybody who bumped up their pledge to $10 or more per month is going to get a complimentary CCO altar. So if you're a new patron and you bump up your pledge or pledge, free CCO sticker, complimentary CCO altar, and at a certain level, funny nicknames.
Funny nicknames are fun for us. I don't know if we've ever actually burned somebody super hard, but so far I think we're doing okay.
Shout out to Bryan Laydown.
Ooh. How do we call him? Bryan Laydown. Like he takes the skin boat to Laytown.
Bryan Laydown.
Now I'd play some pimp music had I been thinking ahead. There's some like porn music. That that's the 70s. That's when I was.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't think porn has that anymore.
No, I don't think it does either. But
Well, Bryan Laydown,
Yeah.
welcome
aboard.
other social media coordinates. We kind of did that out of order.
We did. Well, we already talked about YouTube. We talked about Podomatic. We talked about Patreon. We talked about Facebook. All great places to get a hold of us. You can also find us at CCO Podcast and CCO Brando on Twitter. You can find us at CCO Podcast on tappedout.net. That's where you can see this week's list, last week's list, next week's list, and any other decks that we do throughout the course of the show. You can send us an email at commandercookout@gmail.com. That's where you can send us love mail, hate mail, show suggestions, but no nudes.
Oh, dude, we got the funniest nudes. I forgot to tell you.
Oh, I'm excited to see those after we're done recording. And then you can find us anywhere better podcasts are found, iTunes, Google Play, Google Machine, all that stuff. Plus, you can find us on edhrec.com and Flipside Gamer, where you can use the special promo code CCOFU to get 10% off your entire order store-wide. And if you missed any of that or was kind of disjointed, couldn't make sense of it in your head, you can go check us out at the official home of Commander Cookout Podcast on the entire internet, commandercookout.com.
That was like sexy 90s Robocop.com.
A little head wiggle and everything.
Yeah. Flipside Gaming, CCO promo code CCOFU. I used it. I bought sleeves.
Ooh.
I bought sleeves for the Zata deck.
That's what we're giving away.
Yeah. I bought more sleeves for my own deck. $8. $8 for Dragon Shields.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. So like $7.20 after you use our promo code.
And then after the exchange rate, it's like $78.45, I think.
78 and 45,000.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
That's what sleeves cost here, so it's still a good deal.
Yeah, exactly.
We're doing a deck.
We are talking about a deck today. Now, before we get into the deck, I have to give a little bit of a history, I feel, on how this happened.
Very much so.
Okay, so Surak Dragonclaw, if you actually go back and listen to the episode or just look at the list, it's still on tappedout.net. It's called Surak Anti-Control Claw because it was built to play toolbox creatures through control magic and then do some stuff.
Hey, that actually sounds like good.
But the creatures it was playing through control magic were all werewolves.
Not good.
Not good at all. Now, the deck, in its best case scenario, had an unreal first 4 or 5 turns where you could be swinging for like 14 on like turn 3, 4. Really good. That's not too bad.
Yeah, okay.
And then as soon as anybody cast 2 spells, your game was over, and you might as well just scoop up your cards and walk away from the table.
That's beer drinking time.
That's beer drinking time. So I was like, you know what? I like drinking beer, but I also want to maintain an impact on the table. So what I did was I altered it so that I took all the shitty werewolves out and I replaced them with what's my favorite card type to do in this situation, Ryan?
Earthquake?
The Mighty Clone.
Oh.
Therefore, I had more copies of the good werewolves. And then I realized that even the good werewolves were kind of shitty. So
yes.
I started cutting werewolves and I started cutting clones because I didn't need to clone werewolves anymore, and I started adding like spells and kind of some weird combo-y stuff, and then the green stuff was getting in the way, so I cut all that shit too, and then I realized I couldn't actually play Surak Dragonclaw anymore, so I switched it to Arjun the Shifting Flame, and here we are.
So, quite a journey.
Yeah.
It's like Dante the Shifting Flame. Traveling through the underworld and purgatory to get back to heaven, and I don't think he ever made it. Did he make it?
He sure did.
He did make it, because Paradiso.
Yeah.
I didn't get that far.
Well, yeah. If you're reading Dante's Inferno, by the way, Inferno, very good.
Yes.
Purgatorio, sort of interesting.
Yeah.
No, I didn't like it. I couldn't make it through it. Couldn't do it.
I just played the game.
With the monster nipples. Don't Google that.
Do not Google that. You might actually get pictures of Braun Strowman, but still don't Google it.
But feel free to play the game. It's very good. It's very God of War, but in hell.
Yeah, a little bit faster paced than God of War, but shorter, right?
Yes.
Look at us sounding like a gaming podcast now.
Man, we're not a gaming podcast. We're not a wrestling podcast, a Ninja Turtle podcast, or a weather-based podcast, but here we are.
We are a gaming podcast.
Not a video gaming podcast, Ryan.
So I have to, yeah, you're right. I have this as a control combo list. That's how I have it labeled in my notes.
Sure.
So that's kind of accurate because, I mean, you've quick rundown. There's 26 cards in this list that actually like draw you cards.
Hell yeah.
Actively draw you cards.
Yeah.
And remember, like, there's 37 land in here. So anything that isn't a land, when you cast it, actually draws you cards, right?
Yeah.
So moving down, just couple quick stats. Targeted removal. You've got 2 fork effects, if those count. Like, somebody casts the removal spell, you can fork it. So
Sure.
I didn't count those, but you could count those. There's 8 targeted removal spells in this list.
It's okay.
Okay, fine. You cast your removal spell, then you get to draw a whole bunch of cards. If the removal spell was the best thing in your hand, because it answers a threat that's on the table, you're just filling your hand back up.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's cool. Mass removal. Same thing, except you're getting rid of all the threats. I think that these are more important. There's 4 of these, including Cyclonic Rift. Thank you.
Well, I had one. It has to go somewhere.
And it's good. Now, ramp spells, 0. Mana rocks, only 5. With a full complement of Urza lands. Now, only 5, but remember, every time you cast a spell, you're seeing more lands. So if at the start of your turn, you draw your card, you have 0 land in hand, all you have to do is cast a spell. And you're going to trigger Arjun, ship your hand to the bottom, draw that many cards, and you're probably going to hit a land.
Spoiler, I was in a game once that, granted, it was like a 6 or 7 player, ridiculous, go nowhere game. But I did see every single card in my deck twice.
That is excellent.
And you don't see that happening very often. So, although by the end of that game, it's kind of, I'm not pumped full of 2-card combos, but one part of every single one of the combos in the deck had been destroyed. So it's like, I was swinging for Arjun beats.
Arjun beats.
Which aren't the biggest.
Dude,
the
that sounds
beats.
like a headphones opportunity or some Arjun beats.
I can't beatbox enough to drop the bass on you.
Do not. So let's get into it. Creech, 19.
And we are going to start off alphabetically, as we are wont to do, with Arcanus the Omnipotent.
3/4, Wizard Legend.
Yeah.
I knew you'd like it. For 6, blue. Yeesh. Blue, 3. You tap, draw 3 cards.
And then there's a period.
Just full stop.
Yep, draw 3 cards.
Yeah, and you're going to Wrath or something? No, blue, 2, bounce them.
Also, if you really need to dig one more card deep when you're Arjuning, you can put them back in your hand and then mill them away and get something else.
Or
if you're terrible.
Or put them back into your hand and cast them again if you have a ton of mana, and then you can dig like all the way that deep with Arjun. Anyways, there's lots of little tricks with Arjun. Maybe we just, I don't know, if they come up, that's a thing.
All right, next up we got another super fun legendary guy, Brutaclad, Telchor Engineer.
Yeah, so he's a 4/4 for 6. Creature tokens you control have haste, so that's cool. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 2/1 blue mirror artifact creature token. Then you may have tokens you control become a copy of a token you control, right?
Right.
I don't know what this guy's doing in your deck because it's a new edition. I haven't actually played against you with this deck while that's been in here yet.
Yeah.
Is it good? Is it bad? Is it good? Is there tokens in this deck?
The one time it worked, it was great.
Oh, well, I suppose that's confirmation bias. Tells me that 100% of the time, forever now that it ever does anything, it'll be great.
Right on.
Okay.
Also, Brutaclad is just a cool name. I'm just going to say that right now. All right, our first not 6-drop.
Yeah.
Cryptic Analid. Anal Lid.
I am not even going to... It's a 1/4 for 4. When it enters the battlefield, scry 1, then 2, then 3. So that's 3 separate instances of scry. I didn't count that in the card draw, but I think you see enough cards with that you could count that as card draw.
Scry up to 6. Very cool.
Yeah, you don't want any of those 6? Ship them, and then cast your spell, and you're going to get 6 different things. That's actually cool.
All right, next up we have...
Hold on a sec.
What?
When you cast a spell, so you would draw everything while that's still sitting on the stack, then it would come into play. You would scry 6, let's call it. Then if you cast something else, you get your 6.
Yeah.
So Arjun is a cast trigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right, this one is a relic from the... I think it's the only relic left, actually, from the Serac Dragon Claw days. Can you guess what it is? Anybody out there? Anybody? How about Dax Duplicant?
That's what I was going to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a 0/0 for 4.
What?
Yeah, but it's a clone. So it enters the battlefield as a copy of a creature, and this one has Dethrone, right?
And Haste.
Oh, and haste, yeah. So dethrone is when it attacks the opponent with the greatest life total, it gets a +1/+1 counter.
Correct.
That's fine.
And it turns into things.
It's 4 mana for a clone, which is like right on point with clone, and then it has like 2 relevant upsides.
Electrostatic field.
2-drop, 0/4 wall. When you cast an instant or sorcery, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. I'm going to lump this in with Gutter Snipe, which I see on the screen as well. Goblin for 3, he deals 2 damage whenever you cast an instant or sorcery. And that's to each opponent.
Favorite of the show, Atali Primal Storm.
Yeah, this is a cast trigger too, right? Wow.
Oh, no, this is an attack trigger with Atali.
Yeah, but you cast them.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, get this. 6/6 for 6. When he attacks, exile the top card of each player's library, then you can cast them without casting paying their mana cost.
Yeah.
So you just get 4 spells for free, and you get to dig through your deck. If you have, let's say, 5 cards in hand, you see 20 cards.
Yeah.
And remember, you don't have to cast them all at the same time. So you cast it, trigger Arjun, cycle through 5 cards. Play your land if you didn't have one. Play your mana rock. And then do it again. And then cast your second Atali spell. And then your third one. Then play whatever's in your current hand. Then cast your fourth Atali spell. So, Atali lets you just dig through. I said 20, but in the example I just gave you is 30 cards. If you cast one thing out of each of your hands, you're seeing almost 40 cards.
It's pretty good.
Your hand goes down every time you cast a spell, right?
Yeah. And you've hit somebody for 6.
Yeah. I guess if you're casting draw card spells, you're filling your hand back up.
That's right.
Oh, dude. This
cool.
Don't even.
All right, next up we have Goblin Electromancer.
He's a 2/2 for 2. Instant sorcery costs 1 less. It's good.
Hypersonic Dragon.
4/4 flying haste for 5, and you can cast sorceries as though they were instants. I feel like that's fine. I feel like if this was my deck, I would just want a combo.
I could probably replace him with something else. I have one, so in he goes.
Yeah, he's fine. He's still a 4/4 flying haste for 5. That has a relevant upside.
Let's talk about cards with relevant upsides, shall we? In Kozilek, Butcher of Truth.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, so he's a 12/12 Annihilator 4 for 10. That better give you some good upside, because that's not very good. Anyways, when you cast him, draw 4 cards. Oh!
There you go.
Yeah. So at this point, he might be the last card in your hand. So you cast him, then you trigger Arjun, and then you trigger him, right? So you draw your 4 from him, and then you can dig through your deck 4 deep with Arjun.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Excellent.
pretty cool. Also, he's also in there because you're drawing a lot of cards, you're playing a lot of cards, and if you ever need those cards back, you can chuck him to shuffle your graveyard back in.
Oh, yeah, because he's got a clause when he hits your graveyard, shuffle your whole graveyard into your library. Yeah.
It's a backup plan. All right. Another favorite of mine, Krenko Mob Boss.
Yeah, 3/3 for red 2 Goblin. Tap, put X red goblins into play, 1/1s, where X is the number of goblins you control. So he doubles your goblins every turn.
That's right.
Yeah, that's probably fine with Bruderclad, right?
I wonder if there's things in there that I can use to abuse him.
100% there is.
I'll bet you there is. How about Loyal Drake?
Ooh, new edition.
New edition.
C18 special. So this guy's actually seen a little bit of competitive play. Watch all the CEDH snobs be like, oh, no, he's not. He's a 2/2 flyer for 3 with Lieutenant. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commandy, draw a card. So that just is like Arjun, but you're not attacking with anybody. Move to combat, draw your card. Yep. Then cast your spells post combat main.
That's right. Creatures that draw you cards. Muldrifter.
Yeah. 5-drop 2/2 flyer. When he enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards, but he has Evoke. So Evoke is you can cast him for his Evoke cost. It's blue 2. If you do, you sack him when he comes into play. So he immediately dies.
So you draw 2 cards for 3 mana, essentially.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. All right, how about Nin the Pain Artist?
Yeah, this is from Commander 11. Blue-red for a 1/1 Vidalcan Wizard. X, blue, red, tap. Nin deals X damage to target creature, then that creature's controller draws X cards.
In a pinch, she can remove stuff, or if you have something that's a fair size, like say a Cryptid Anal Lid, you can just draw 3 cards.
Ping it for 3 because it's like a 1/4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could hit Arjun if you're in bad shape. You could hit Kozilek if you're in good shape.
Yeah.
She's very good.
I think the point is you want to fill your hand Like, keep your hand full as often as possible so you can see as many cards with Arjun as possible.
Also correct.
Okay.
Now, this is the wrong version of this card. I realize there's a better one I could be playing, should be playing, but I don't think I have it in my life, and it's Niv Mizzet, the Firemind.
And you think it should be Niv Mizzet Perun.
That's right.
The prune.
Yeah.
The wrinkly old prune. Anyways, yeah, it's red, blue, 2, 4/4. Dragon Wizard. Flying. When you draw a card, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Draw a card for tapping it. No,
that is the right one.
That's
That is the
probably
right
the
one.
right one.
That
dude.
is the right
yeah,
one.
we were looking at each other as I was saying what that did, and yeah, that's probably the right one.
That is the right one. Okay, I'm not an idiot. So
and
good.
Here's the thing I like about Arjun is you got to ship everything you don't cast, right? Like, I'm cast my Brainstorm and ship everything else.
Yep.
I'm going to see, like, everything else again, maybe, but if I don't, I need redundancies, right?
Right.
Where's my Niv Mizzet redundancy?
Psychosis Crawler?
100%. 5-drop, star, power and toughness equal to the number of cards in your hand. Fine. Whenever you draw a card, deals each opponent loses a life. So it does kind of what Niv Mizzet does, except it's easier to cast and cheaper to cast, and it's bigger.
And it hits everybody.
And it's everybody, yeah.
And if you do it with that Atali thing we were talking about earlier in the game, you just whack everybody for fucking 30.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Niv Mizzet's this thing's redundancy. Yeah, get bent, Niv. Niv Mizzet equals 2. That's a flavor text reference. I game good.
All right. Drawing cards, redundancy. We're drawing lots of cards. We need redundancy. How about the Locust God?
Ooh. 6-drop, 4/4, flyer. Whenever you draw a card, create a 1/1 locust. Wow.
With flying and haste.
Wow.
We don't mess around.
Yeah, no. Okay, so red, blue, 2, draw a card, then discard a card. Probably you discard your Kozilek just so you can keep drawing cards. And when the Locust God dies, you return it to your hand at end of turn. Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're just going to make 1,000 things.
Yeah.
That's a 100% a win condition, just like the last 2 cards.
Just by being there.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of win conditions and things that can just blow you right out in the wrong situation. Toothy, imaginary friend.
Plays Toothy, cuts green. Can't play Pier. You can still search, fail to find, and shuffle.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's important because if you ditch your Cyclonic Rift because you wanted to cast your Toothy, you can fail to find Pier, shuffle, and then draw your however many cards with Arjun, hoping to find your Rift that isn't on the bottom of your library anymore. Tricky.
That came in handy last night when we were playing Commander.
Yeah. Okay, so Toothy Battle Bond Special 1/1 for 4. Partners with imaginary friend or whatever his name is, Pier. Doesn't matter. Whenever you draw a card, you put a +1/+1 counter on him. Then, whenever he leaves the battlefield, draw a card for each +1/+1 counter on him.
So that's not die. Okay, that's bounce, that's blink, that's anything. And I have had.
Oh,
like
tell me.
I think it was a 90-90 or something. He was so goddamn
Oh, and
big.
you didn't want him to die because you would lose.
Well, yeah,
I
because if
remember
he died,
this.
I'd draw myself out to death. And then it just so happened that Alex tapped wrong, didn't have that removal mana, and I ended up winning. Because when you take 90, you die.
Yeah.
I don't care how much
Alex.
I don't care how much Allura you're playing. If I'm hitting you for 90 every turn, I will win eventually.
Excellent. So those are the Creech. I like them. I like probably all of them except like 2.
All right, we're going to do some instants and sorceries, starting with instants. We're going to hit these quick because they all kind of do essentially standard stuff. We're going to start with Blue Sun Zenith.
Blue, X, draw X. Instant speed, and it shuffles itself in. So after you cast it, you get a shuffle effect. Important in Arjuna. I want to drive that home.
Brainstorm.
Also important for shuffle effects. God, these were supposed to be fast, Brando. You're playing cards that are just so dang good. Brainstorm. Draw 3, put 2 from your hand back on top. Shuffle them away. That's how you don't get brainstormed lock, kids. Just play Arjun, especially in Legacy. I heard it's good.
Chaos Warp.
So much to say. 3 mana, instant. Put something on the bottom. Shuffle. Reveal the top. You get it if it's a thing. It's a removal spell.
Comet Storm.
X damage to one thing or X damage to all the things.
Cyclonic Rift.
Bounce a thing or bounce all the things.
Electrolyze.
2 damage to something, but then draw a card. That's actually an interesting pickup for this deck. Why? Tell me. Tell me more.
Well, you can nuke a dork. You can nuke 2 dorks. You can nuke a larger dork. you draw a card.
What you said.
Yeah.
Okay. All for the low cost of 3 mana, and then you draw like your whole hand
Then
again.
you draw 5 cards. Draw 6 cards for 3. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it turns out every card is good when you draw 6 cards after you cast it.
Oh gosh.
5 mana, but it's free when you bounce 2 islands, because we don't play Commander in bitch mode where we use mana for things.
That's right.
Yeah, bounce 2 islands, draw 2 cards.
Also, if you bounce the 2 islands back to your hand, that's 2 more cards you get to draw off Arjun.
Oh yeah, and you're just gonna play one of them back because you're gonna draw like 7 or 8 cards.
Yeah.
Oh man, see, I'm gonna murder you, and I'm gonna take this deck.
Mystic Confluence.
This is a mighty card. Blue, 3. And remember, these are all instants, dude.
Yeah.
Choose 3, and you can choose the same one more than once. Okay. Counter a spell unless controller pays 3. Woof. Return a creature to its owner's hand. Woof. Draw a card. I'm going to choose all of those like one time, and I'm going to blow somebody out because I'm going to counter their spell. I'm going to bounce their thing or my Toothy, and then I'm going to draw another card, and then I'm going to draw like 5 more cards.
You know what else is excellent? Pongify.
Yeah, the next 3 serve as, I think, 2 things. Just like Brainstorm, just like Ponder, just like Preordain, all in this list, right? They destroy a thing. They give you some tangible, like, good upside benefit, like killing a dude, and they let you dig.
Yep. You kill a thing, draw 5.
Like, they're not in here to kill a thing as much as they are in here to draw 5, right?
That's right.
Because I'd rather, like, draw 5 down to my Toothy or my Cranko instead of just caring about your shitty thing and giving you a 3/3 ape token or frog lizard or giving you a reality shift. What are they called? Manifester.
Manifest creatures.
Yeah.
So they're all there. Rapid hybridization, Pongify, reality shift. They all do the same thing. Reverberate and twin cast.
They both copy a spell that's on the stack, right? So mostly you just copy a removal spell or a draw spell, so you can do them twice and then get another dig with Arjun.
That's right. You can also use them to counter spells if you're really hurting, but less relevant most of the time. How about Smash?
That destroys target artifact and draws a card.
Stroke of Genius.
Stroke is just like Blue Sun Zenith, 3 mana and then X to draw X cards, and it's an instant. This one doesn't shuffle in, yeah.
Yeah, it costs blue 2 instead of blue, but it does basically the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some sorceries real fast. Let's start with the one that makes Brutaclad into a beating.
Oh,
shall we?
Yeah. I didn't even... Yeah, okay.
Call the Skybreaker.
Yeah, so Simic... No, what is this?
Is it 5?
I was going to say Steam Vent Hybrid. 5, sorcery. Put a 5/5 blue and red elemental creature token with flying onto the B. Then it's got Retrace. You may play this card from your graveyard by discarding a land card in addition to paying its mana cost.
Yeah.
Now, when you retrace it, you are casting it.
That's right.
So you ditch a land instead of ditching it.
Right.
And if you ditched it, that's like going down a card for your Arjun dig. Just like ditching a land is going down a card for your Arjun dig. So it's like exactly the same.
It's very good.
And then you cast it and dig. And then Brutaclad makes all of your 2/1s and 1/1 goblins into 5/5s with flying.
That's right.
Okay, I don't mind that.
All right. How about Chain Reaction?
4 mana, deals X damage, where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield, to all creatures.
That's right.
So it's a sweeper.
It is. Devastation Tide.
That's a 5 mana, return all non-land permanents to their owner's hand. You can miracle it for blue 1. If it's the first card you draw on a turn, you can cast it for blue 1.
4C.
Blue 3, scry 4, then draw 2 cards. Jeepers, creepers, that digs you like 1,000 deep.
Yes, it does. How about Mystic Speculation?
This one digs you deep too. Blue, buy back 2. Scry 3. So it's essentially like 3 mana, scry 3 as many times as you have 3 mana.
That's right.
And you get to dig every time.
Yep.
Every time you cast that, you just dig your hand. And you're always getting that card back.
Yeah. Just because the way it interacts with the stack and the abilities and stuff, it's pretty good.
Yeah, because that on the stack, you trigger Arjun. And then you scry.
Then it resolves.
And then you get it back.
And you get it back in your hand.
Jeez. I love this deck.
All right, we got Ponder and Preordain.
So those just scry or look at the top 3, and then you dig with Arjun, and then you draw a card.
Ruination.
Oh, I painted one of these today.
Nice.
Yeah. It'll be up for auction last week. Dang. Sorry you missed it. 4 mana, destroy all non-basics. That's that's actually good because in this deck you're playing mostly basics. It's only 2 colors, right?
That's right. Pet card time in Stitchin' time.
Oh, man. 3 mana, take an extra turn. 3 mana, take an extra turn. 3 mana. You lose the flip coin.
Oh, no.
So this is red, blue, 1, flip a coin. If you win the flip, take an extra turn.
I like it because it's fun. How about Treasure Hunt?
Oh, this one I like. Okay. Blue, 1. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card. Put all the cards revealed this way into your hand. What's the combo with this card again?
It was, I don't play it, but there was a thing where you could, what the hell was it?
You remove all the land cards in your deck, then you cast this and just draw your whole deck?
No, you remove everything but the land and the one thing that you want. Seismic Assault. You remove everything except for the land.
Yeah, but
and
how
the
do you get the
Seismic
land
Assault.
out? What's that card?
I don't know. Don't ask me these
Or
questions.
how do you... Oh, there's a combo with this card.
You treasure hunt down to Seismic Assault, then you put all of your land into your hand, play a Seismic Assault, and then throw your hand at somebody.
Oh, yes. CCO Nation, tell us what that combo is. That's this week's Twitter assignment. I love the Twitter assignments. We're getting people filling us in. Filling us in. Do the CCO heavy lifting for us.
Last sorcery, Wild Guess.
Wild Guess. Red. As an additional cost to cast, discard a card, then you draw 2. There's actually a couple cards that are better in that slot. I have them in our budget and suggestions section.
Neat. All right, let's do some enchantments real quick.
Got it.
Impact Tremors.
Creature comes into play, deals 1 damage to each opponent. Why is that in there?
Locust God.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Yep. Intruder Alarm.
Combos with Cranko.
Mind Moil.
That's Arjun in an enchantment form for less mana.
Mystic Remora.
Draws you a card unless they pay 4.
Yeah, they never pay 4. Propaganda. Shared Animosity.
Whenever a creature you control attacks, put a +1 counter on. No, it just gets +1 until end of turn for each other creature that shares a type with it.
Also really good with Brutal Clad tokens.
And Locust God tokens because they have haste.
Yeah.
So it's just like Locust God, dig, spell, get 10 dudes, shared animosity, dig. All my dudes get +10/+10, die.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that works good.
Sphinx's Tutelage. Now, I'm not gonna lie. This card is a real shit sucker to resolve.
Yeah, I'm just my brain. Okay, so we never played this card before, so let me give it the CCO read here. Blue 2. Whenever you draw a card, target opponent puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. If they both are non-land cards that share a color, repeat this process. Wow.
And now you want to mill somebody toot sweet?
Just wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Okay. Blue 5. Draw a card, then discard a card. What were you saying? So I cast a Brainstorm, and then I have 5 cards in my hand.
Yeah.
So you mill 2.
You mill 2.
You mill 2, and then I draw a card. So you mill 10.
Yeah.
Just from my Arjun trigger when I have 5 cards in my hand.
Yeah. And
if any of those sets of 2 match, you do it again.
Yeah.
And again and again and again.
Right.
And then I draw 3 from Brainstorm. So you have to do that 3 more times.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
What if you have the next card out in that exact same example?
Somebody's going to punch you in the face.
Somebody's going to dink punch you so hard your dink's going to come through your butthole.
Yeah, because you're playing 1,000-Year Storm.
Oofda.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
We never played this card either. Red, blue, 4. I think everybody knows what this does, but I'll read it anyways. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, copy it for each other instant or sorcery you've cast it before it this turn, and you may choose new targets for all of your copies.
Yeah.
You target yourself with Brainstorm every time.
That's right.
And then you just draw 100,000 cards all the time forever, and Sphinx's Tutelage somebody to death.
Correct.
Until you find your shared animosity and Locust God.
Also correct.
Sweet.
Let's talk artifacts. Let's start with Brain in a Jar.
Yeah. Do you like this one in here? Let's give it a read. Okay, so it's a 2-drop artifact. You pay 1 and tap it, put a charge counter on Brain in the Jar. Then you may cast an instant or sorcery with converted mana cost equal to the number of charge counters on Brain in the Jar from your hand without paying its mana cost. They should be eyeball counters.
But this is Brain in a Jar.
I know, but there's an eyeball card, and maybe they should be like lobe counters or something.
Jar of eyeballs.
Yeah. Anyways, 3 tap, remove X charge counters, scry X. You got to put the charge counter on it by paying mana, and then you have to cast something with the number of charge counters, not the number or less.
That's right.
I suppose when you...
That's why you can remove counters from it, so you can kind of
Oh,
sculpt
yeah,
it.
okay. And when you see enough cards as Arjun and Mind Moil let you do, theoretically you always have some number.
That
you
is
can
correct.
do, yeah.
Also, I play it because it's brain in a jar, and that is the honest truth.
Tell me,
It's brain in a jar.
do you have a foil one?
Yes.
Is the brain foily?
Yes.
Do you have a foil jar of eyeballs?
Yes.
That makes me happy.
All right, speaking of foils, we got Howling Mine.
Yeah, you cast it during everybody's draw step. They draw an additional card.
Is it Locket?
That is a new mana rock. So 3, and you tap it to add is it mana, whatever you want. You go is it, all hybrid, sack it, draw 2. You like the Lockets in EDH?
No.
No?
No.
Have we had? I feel like we've had this conversation.
I think we have too. I played in this deck because I really want those 2 cards, but I don't know. I don't like them.
You play it over like is it Cluestone?
Correct.
Yeah, because you get 2 cards for like 1 extra mana or whatever. No, it's 2 extra mana. Whatever. Moving on.
Is it Signet?
Signet.
Sol Ring.
Sol Ring.
Spellbook.
Do not. You have no max hand size. I would rather have a max hand size in this deck.
No. Teferi's Puzzle Box.
This is Arjun, but it happens at the beginning of your upkeep.
Beginning of each player's draw step.
Wow, everybody has to do it?
Everybody hates this card, and I don't know why. I think it's fun.
People, okay, here's the thing. I think this card is kind of like Mill. Everybody hates Mill because they flip over their cards one at a time, and it's like, oh, I didn't want to mill that. Oh, you got my thing. Mill's random. You probably weren't going to see those shitty cards anyways, right? Just like Teferi's Puzzle Box, except Puzzle Box is, okay, I have my 5 cards in my hand, and it's like, I have a plan for these cards, right? Now I have to autopilot through this plan, right? Teferi's Puzzle Box is, oh, it's my turn. Oh, dang, new plan. Dang, new plan every turn, right? And now you have to like actually think. I don't know. I don't care about Teferi's Puzzle Box. I think it's fine. And it's good in this deck because it's already what you want to be doing, right?
Exactly. Is that Teferi on the card or is it Teferi's mom on the card?
That is not Teferi. That is an old lady. I assume that it's probably Teferi's mom.
Teferi's mom. And then we got a Thought Vessel, a Thran Dynamo, and a Worn Power Stone to round out the deck.
Yeah, all mana rocks.
So that's the deck.
Yeah, I like it. I can't tell. We're recording at night, so it's like it's not in the morning. I'm not hungover. I'm thinking about going home and having beer and nachos again, like for the second time today. I can't tell if it's that or if I actually do like the deck.
I think you do like the deck.
I think you might be right.
Because drawing cards and taking turns are your 2 favorite things. And while this deck doesn't take a lot of extra turns, it does draw a lot of cards.
I love it when it's my turn.
Yeah. If you like to draw cards, this is the deck for you.
That's it, right? Strengths and weaknesses.
Let's do those.
Okay. All the cards. That's like all my notes say. It never misses land drops because you see so many cards.
Correct.
Right? Like it always has action because you see so many cards.
Also correct.
It's probably got just enough jam early game with your Ponder, Preordain, Brainstorm, 5 or 6 mana rocks. You've got enough to get there. Like if you hit a Mind Moil on turn 3 or 4 or an Arjun on turn 5 or 6, that's probably plenty early enough, right?
Yeah.
And then
if you're going to find the win condition. You're going to find it.
Yeah, and if it's not, like you've got some like light control for early mid game. You've got your Electrolyze, you've got your Cyclonic Rift. Even if you have to cast it not overloaded, then later ditch your Kozilek to get it back. That's probably fine. You smash your Spellbook, so you have to discard. And then you discard your Kozilek to get your Cyclonic Rift back, shuffle it in, and then like just dig till you hit it, and you make 7 trillion tokens, bounce all their shit, and then they die.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, this is cool.
That's how the deck works, yeah.
Okay, and I like how it has an alternate win condition, because sometimes you just can't do it. Like the time you saw your deck twice,
Yep.
and you just couldn't do it, maybe you can actually have a Krenko and a Intruder Alarm at the same time and just make infinite goblins.
Because sometimes you just need to have infinite goblins.
Yep, for sure. Okay, weakness. There is no emergency Lab Maniac. So sometimes you just deck yourself.
That is correct.
If I was tuning this and wanted it to be a little bit more competitive without having a super degenerate combo,
I would cut Hypersonic Dragon for a Lab Maniac.
I was going to say I would cut Cranko and Intruder Alarm, so I'm freeing up 2 spots and adding a Lab Maniac. You free up 2 slots, so you're opening up a slot for something, right? I understand that emotion, but what I'm saying makes theoretical sense.
Everybody out there would rather play Cranko and Intruder Alarm, I'm sure.
Now, other weakness, and this goes back to kind of the same thing we just talked about, is there's no full tutor combo leverage digging through your deck package, right? Because you're not playing that. So if you love drawing cards, but you don't necessarily want to be that guy, and you just like are fine with drawing 20 cards really fast, and then like that's all you want to do. Yeah, this is the deck.
Also, it's tricky it's trickier than you'd think to play tutors in this deck, because you got a tutor for that one card that you need, but then all the other cards around it that you also need are going to go away after you play the card that you tutored for. Yeah, that's the thing, right? So it's tricky you always search for Locust God, because it's the only one that just goes by itself.
Yeah.
So it's a hard deck to tutor in, but you don't super need them, I've found.
I suppose. You know what the other way to do it is, if you're not super tutoring, then you just build it. You just find XYZ combo that like if there's an A and a B part to the combo, you just pick a combo that has like 3 A parts that all do the same thing and 3 B parts that all do the same thing, so you have like triple the chance of hitting it.
That's right.
I don't know if that's fun either, though, because then you're using like 6 slots and like, I don't know. Play it as is.
It's fun the way that it is, and that's what's important.
So, I've got a couple suggestions, though, over and above like the Lab Maniac. And the only reason I want the Lab Maniac is like just so I don't lose. It's kind of like a value Lab Man.
Yeah.
But I like Mad Blind Mountain. That is the red uncommon land from Shadowmoor.
Okay.
If you control 2 red permanents or 2 mountains, I don't remember, whatever.
Ooh, you can shuffle your library.
Red, tap, shuffle your library.
I like that.
Now, you get it with Ruination, but sacrifices must be made.
Yeah.
Shuffle your library. So if something goes to the bottom, you want to try and draw it again, just respond to the next Arjun trigger.
I dig it.
That's not a bad include, hey?
Not even at all.
Yeah.
I like that.
I got another one. Soothsaying. That's a mask block special.
Ooh.
That's just like, it's an enchantment where you can look at the top X cards of your library, or you can pay like 4, so 5, and shuffle your library.
Also neat.
And you can do it like as many times as you want. There's no tap.
Ooh.
So I think shuffling's super good just because it lets you see a card potentially like 80 cards sooner. Not that you won't see 80 cards, but
sometimes you just want a Blue Sun Zenith over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it. So those are the 2 suggestions I have. The budget for this one, like last week's, a little bit tricky because this is a real deck that you have in real life. So you've got like all your foils and stuff listed in it.
Significantly less foil than I usually play.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a work in progress, I think, right? Like you've got some new includes in there that you're trying out, like Brutoclad and stuff, right? Trying to token realm and stuff, right?
Exactly. So it's listed on TC. It's listed on Tap Out right now for just shy of $500. But again, this is one of those decks that I think you could, if you bought the C18 blue-red deck, and then you've been playing Magic for a little while, you could probably build this deck for pretty cheap.
Yeah, but Exquisite Invention is the C18 deck, I think. Anyways, you buy that and then just order an Arjun from Flipside Gaming, CCO promo code CCOFU, and you'd probably just like have enough that you'd get a good glimpse of it, right?
Yeah. Also, a big portion of the value, I do actually have a foil Cosmic Butcher of Truth, and apparently he's worth $90.
Yeah.
Or $80.
Yes. You got a foil Rift, you got a foil Causey, you've got a Scalding Tarn, you've got a Steam Vents in there. Those are the cards that are over $20.
Yeah, and if you could cut the Kozilek, that'd save you $80. You could make a regular
or played
Rift.
like the Ultimate Masters one.
Yeah,
that's probably cheaper, right?
Yeah, like you can save probably $70 by playing not foils of those, and then the Tarn you don't really need. You can play a Terramorphic Expanse instead,
or Mad Blind Mountain.
Sure, and if you're not wanting to play a Steam Vent, you could play a mountain or an island.
Yeah, and then you've just saved yourself like $100 and some bucks. So now this $500 deck is a $350 deck.
Yeah, that you probably already have all of the cards for.
Sweet.
Yeah. So everybody at home can build this deck and then impress their friends and family with how many cards they can draw in one game.
Now, the only other suggestion I want to make is when you have to draw 20 cards, for the love of Christ and all things CCO, do not draw them one at a time. Pick your deck up and go 20. Then flip them all over and look at them. For God's sake, I swear to God, anybody who draws or mills one card at a time, I just want to suplex them off the roof.
You can look at them later.
Yeah, like 4 seconds later and not take 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anyways, milk list?
How about instead we do card of the week?
Your deck again this week. What do you want?
Okay, let's go this week. We're going to go Mystic Confluence.
Oh, I knew you were going to pick that. It's so good.
One of our first and only modal spells in the deck, and by first and only, I mean the only modal spell in the deck. It is an instant for blue 3. Choose 3. You may choose the same mode more than once, and those modes are Mana Leak, Unsummon, Reach Through the Mists.
Or Whisper of the Muse.
Cantrip?
What you said.
Yeah. So if you want to pick one of these up, if you grab one of those, I think it was actually in the... It was in a Commander deck, I think.
It was in C15, and it was in Battle Bond. Yeah,
Weird,
not
yeah.
even joking. Battle Bond.
But there are $3 American, 15 Canadian dollars, or if you want to get the all pimpy foil, you can get $14 American, 291 Canadian.
Yeah, $14. Battle Bond, that's the only foil.
Yep. A little bit less, or a little bit more common, I guess, than we would normally pick for our card of the week, but you don't see it very often out in the wild, and it's kind of a cool card. It costs a little bit, but...
You know what? I think that you see it lots. I just think that not a lot of people in our play group have either C15 decks or didn't play a ton of Battle Bond. I think that card gets played a ton because it is so good.
Huh.
It's mighty. And I was saying to Brando just off air, I was saying, I don't think I'm playing my copy because I have it. And I said, I don't think I have a deck that wants a 5-mana counterspell, except for Force of Will. But super good. I'm going to have to look at that again for sure.
All right, let's check out that milk list.
Okay, milk list. As per edhrec.com, these are the most popular cards in whatever color combination we're talking about, from converted mana cost 0 to, today, 15. Today, is it? Or as the kids say,
No werewolves here.
all right. 0-drop slot, Everflowing Chalice.
Hell no.
How about the 2-slot, Spellbook?
Doesn't count, though.
Cut it.
Doesn't count.
Okay, at the 1-drop slot, we do count the top 3 because it's always Soul Ring. But today, it's Brainstorm.
And I am playing that.
And it's Ponder.
And I'm playing that. That counts as 1.
It counts as 2.
Oh, Jesus.
At the 2-drop slot, is it Signet?
I am playing that as well.
Yeah, dank. Commander Sphere at 3.
Nope.
Factor Fiction at 4.
Nope.
Gilded Lotus at 5.
Nope.
Niv-Mizzet the Firemind at 6.
Yes.
Yes. Firemind's Foresight at 7.
Hell no.
No. Treasure Cruise at 8.
Nah.
That'd probably be an okay one in this deck.
Bah.
That's whatever. Blasphemous Act at 9.
Nope.
Omniscience at 10.
Hell no.
Oh, that would be a mighty one.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Metalwork Colossus at 11.
Nope.
Enter the Infinite at 12.
Nope.
Emrakul at 13.
Nope.
Dinkmouth Infusion at 14.
Yeah, no. No.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't go on this deck.
No.
Other Emrakul at 15.
Nope.
4 Milk List matches.
That's not very good.
It's okay.
That's all right, I guess.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't be so hard on yourself. Or be harder on yourself. Final section of the day. Spice Calculator.
Spice Calculator.
And you did okay.
Good.
You did
Neat.
okay.
Okay.
So, popularity. 560 lists on edhrec.com. Puts them at number 8. All time is it Commandees.
Number 9.
Number 9. Sure. It's like the same as being 8 if you're not first.
Essentially, yeah.
Average CMC of your deck, 3.33.
That's where they live.
That is where a casual EDH deck lives, I think.
Absolutely.
Critical turn of this deck. Not a ton of mana rocks. You don't need them. If you had more, does that make the deck better, faster? I'm not sure. I don't know.
It's hard to say.
I maxed it out for the formula because I don't think that this deck is looking to win like on turn 4, 5, 6.
No.
Right? Especially because you're playing in a casual meta. So even if you could, you probably don't want to.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, how fun is it every game if you just dig till your Locust God and then just like win?
Win the game, yeah.
That's just not what we're doing. So whatever. Optimal game size. You talked about playing it in a big 5, 6, 7 player game.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, but it hung, right?
It did hang in there.
It could do it. And you could probably run it just fine in a 4-man pod. Because
Absolutely. I've done that as well.
it's looking to do what it wants to do, and then it has 4, 5, 6, whatever, like hard, big removal spells.
Yeah.
So it can swing with the big dinks, if you will.
It can get you there.
No tutors. That's fine. We talked about that.
Yeah. Didn't even play my free one.
That's okay. You're kind of tutoring just when you cast your spells because you see so many cards. Now, uniqueness rating. Cards different than the average or stock list on edhrec.com. 36.
That surprises me. I thought that I was going to not do very well there.
It surprised me too. You have things like a couple clones. You're a little bit lighter on the mana rocks, a little bit lighter on some of like the obvious things like the Lab Maniac. You've got Kranko in there. Just Brutaclad, just random stuff, right?
Yeah.
So 36 different cards. Punch it all into the spice calculator. 56.
Pass the 50 test.
Yeah, that's why I say not bad. Pretty good.
Got a spicy meatball on our hands.
Yeah, you've got like one of them turkey sausages from Costco that's got like thyme and other spices in it that are like good that aren't garlic, which I certainly appreciate because I hate garlic. I know I'm going to get it on Twitter for that, but you know what? I just don't like garlic. And I think that Arjun is like the garlicless sausage.
All right. I dig that. I'll accept that. I think that's a good thing. And we haven't made a food reference on the Commander Cookout in a long time.
Oh, I talked about eating nachos.
I suppose that counts.
That counts.
It's on the same show, though, so it's like we just made the reference again, like 5 minutes later.
Yeah,
on the same
God
show.
dang, eat so much nacho. Anyways, like the deck. I think you like the deck. You haven't scrapped it or burnt it. Final thoughts of the day.
Final thought of the day. Now, I teased Ryan with this earlier. Now, I have a thing where I have 11 spots in my box. That's where I keep the decks that I play. And I try to keep it to about 11 because otherwise there's just too many to manage. I can't cultivate all of those, buy new cards for them. I just can't do that.
That's actually lots of lists.
And there's 3 at any one time that are actually on the rebuild because they're just not quite there yet, or on the chop them up for parts and do something else. And this one is actually in my to chop pile to build Oakwit and Zindensplit from
You are
Battle
just
Bond.
the worst at reading card names.
Okuin? Isn't that his name?
Yeah, that's closer, I
The
think.
Minotaur and the Eyeball guy. Now, I wanted to build them for a long time, and now that Mirror March is out, I really want to do that. I know that I'm just jumping on the coin flippy train, but I had coin flip way back when my Nornin deck was first built. I want to try it again, but I don't want 2 Izzet lists. So what I want to do is I want to put it to Ryan, and I want to put it to all you guys out there in CCO Nation. Should I just have 2 Izzet decks, or should I turn Arjun the Shifting Flame into Zinden and Akum? And I don't care how badly I'm saying those names. So that's it. So, I mean, you can leave your comments, your thoughts if you're on Facebook, you can leave it underneath. If you're on Podomatic, you can leave a comment down below. Get entered to win a Zatahedron Grinder deck and have your voice heard by me and maybe save the life of one of my own pet decks before I go off and build another one of my damn crazy pet decks. But
You mean in 100 episodes from now, 2 years later, we could be doing the and saying that this was Arjun that used to be Surok?
yes.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's deckception.
But in all reality, this deck actually is a lot of fun, and I think most people who like casual EDH could play this and have a really great time with it. It looks kind of like a hodgepodge at first, but once you actually get down, start actually playing cards and drawing cards, it's tons of fun. It's a great card to just it's a great deck to just have around.
Agreed.
And bust out from time to time. So if you like it, check it out, build it yourself, let us know how you think, let us know in the comments whether you think I should give it the chop and build and we will be back with the verdict of that on another exciting episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!